Please take the Osome book. And please open the page 12. Page 12. Purification of Koge. 感が心情に心感が心よ知恵がねぼんじょかいよいよりぽさんぜI aspire for my body to be as pure as incense burner. I aspire for my mind to be like the light of the wisdom. With every thought, I burn this incense of the discipline and meditation to dedicate myself to the past, present, and future Buddhas of the 10 directions. Page 13, Veneration of Three Treasures, Samborai. 一心教来自母界上寺一心教来自母界上寺本 wholeheartedly take refuge in the Buddha, eternally glory the rounds of the 10 directions. I wholeheartedly take refuge in the Dharma, the teaching which eternally exists in the rounds of the 10 directions. I wholeheartedly take refuge in the Sangha, the community which eternally exists in the rounds of the 10 directions. Page 14, welcoming the Buddha in 3 verses. Sambujo. 霊上みなせ。家の上上さが如来家の上美女自己如来家のWe reverently call upon Amida Buddha, the world honored one, to enter this sacred place. We reverently call upon Shakyamuni Tathagata, the enlightened one, to enter this sacred place. We reverently call upon the Tathagata Buddha of the 10 directions to enter this sacred place. Page 15, Path of Repentance, Sangye. ガシャクレ所蔵諸悪語海めしと十心語一子少々二歳らごThe humble actions I have done in the past are all derived from my inherent greed, anger, and delusion. Both my conduct, word, and thought. I now repent them all.
Please put your hands together in Gassho and recite Namu Amida Bu 10 times together. Namu Amida Bu, 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 Namu Amida Bu. Namu Amida Bu, Namu Amida Bu. Invocation for Gyoki, the memorial service for Honen Shonin. Let us reverently reflect upon the life and achievements of our founder of Jodoshu, Honen Shonin. Honen Shonin was born as a reincarnation of the Bodhisattva Seishi. At a young age, he went to Mount Hiei and devoted himself to traditional Buddhist practices. He came to be renowned for his scholarship and was called the greatest in wisdom. However, he realized that the practice to achieve enlightenment through the Noble Gate was not something that ordinary people could do. He thus read through all the many volumes of the Buddhist scriptures in the Hoonzo Sutra repository and finally realized the intent of Amida and Shakyamuni Buddha. He also deeply understood the Pure Land teachings of Master Shandao and paved the way for all to be born in the Pure Land of Amida Buddha. Thereafter, he devoted himself to the practice and spread of the Nembutsu selected in the original vow on the 25th day of the first terms in Kenryaku second. He attained birth in the Pure Land. Since then, the teachings of Nembutsu have spread to this day, as the clouds of compassion spread through the sky, and the Buddha Dharma permeates the earth. Now, in observing this memorial service for Honen Shonin, we, the ministers and members, join our palms together to pray sincerely through our actions, words, and thoughts. No matter how small, we would like to express our sincerest appreciation to Honen Shonin and endeavor to spread his teachings. Father, let us continue to recite the Nembutsu and be guided by Amida Buddha until our final hour. Today, on January 21st, 2024. Okay.
人人妙法
Page 17, opening verse for Sutra chanting. The answers, profound and wondrous Dharma teachings, even after 100,000 million eons, is difficult to encounter. We now hear, receive, and uphold it. May we understand the true message of Tathagata Buddha. Page 18, Shiseige, the verse of the four vows. Please offer incense.
節妙寿行感情死生芸が言調整いしむ浄土しがんくまんどせうの小学が以来世世最小民世部の小学が市場部の幼少女にポル業に書の世部の小学理学理少年上映して文業主義の理少年に詩人的現代の優勝最後少女三区の紅茶集約南海一名詞根の安定即小悪の通達前十問相乗万のビオロジーポ日が主従に天候音符言意識界構造構成の具往生大主従説法師識空用一切有足修徳音願念出場万徳意三界を両手芸地通脱未不償願がクエルギと司祭所存知願や効果大戦の感動国商店におうちんよけ
Page 23, Honseige.
ミダホンゼイガン
極楽しよもん
本上三道即所
しょ
無し Amida Buddha's original vows are the essential gate to the pure land of ultimate bliss. May this merit be transferred equally to enable us to immediately attain birth in the pure land. 10年。阿弥陀仏、阿弥陀仏、阿弥陀仏、阿弥陀仏、阿弥陀仏、阿弥陀仏、阿弥陀仏、阿弥陀仏、阿弥陀仏、阿弥陀仏、阿弥陀仏、阿弥陀仏、阿弥陀仏、阿弥陀仏。Page 54、54、一枚小文。宗大師法然上人ご意君一枚小文。おこし我が上にもろもろの死者たちのさたしのさじ、観念の念にもあらず、あらがくものして念の心悟りても念仏にもあらず、ただ往生極楽のためには、阿弥陀仏と申していたいなく、往生するぞ、お一人でも強かには別の司祭おらわず、ただし三人死死と申すことのそのは、皆欠如して南蛮にだるにて往生するぞと思ううちにこりそうなり、この神よくがきこと存ぜば、その哀れに外れ本願に漏れそうのし、現物を信ぜる人はたとえ一代のよく楽人も一も一の不問もみなして天にの無知と友柄に同じして死者の不快を摂してただ一向に演武すべし生徒のために両親をもってする浄土の死の安心医療の歴史にしこせ言及がそのの神全く別をてず滅後の何をせがんがために所存をしをあん権略2年正月23日大師在ご飯ページFounding Master Honen's parting message, the One Shin Testament. Many Buddhist masters and scholars in China and Japan have understood Nembutsu as the contemplation of Amitabha Buddha and the pure life. However, I understand it differently. The recitation of the Nembutsu does not come from study and understanding its meaning. To be born in Amitabha Buddha's pure land, we need only to say Namu Amitabha and believe without a doubt that we will attain birth there. Resolutely reciting the Nembutsu and believing in birth in the pure land naturally give life to the three minds and the four modes of practice. Should I withhold any deeper wisdom beyond the Nembutsu, may I then lose sight of the compassion of Shakyamuni and Amitabha Buddha and flip through the embrace of Amida's original vow. Those of you who put your trust in the Nembutsu, even if you thoroughly study the teachings that Shakyamuni taught during his lifetime, you should become like an unlettered ignorant one or untrained devotee
and not show any pretense of a learned person, but intently practice the Nenbutsu. I hereby seal this document with the imprint of both my hands. The peaceful mind and practice of Jodoshu are fully imparted here on this one sheet. I, Renku, have no other teaching than this. To prevent any misinterpretations after my passing away, I make this final testament. Transcribed on the 23rd day of the first month of Kenryaku Sekai. Page 24, Shoyakumon.
法名返上四方
世界年齢史上
世史
Infinite light of Amida Buddha illuminates the 10 directions of the world, and all who call upon his name shall be received and never abandoned. Nenbutsu Jie, devotees of Amida Buddha's name.
ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブ
宗変更当然下上合格授業名称は順法に対し御記聴取事音保証の映画アミダブアミダブナブアミダブナブアミダナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダ
나무 아미다 미지나
나무 아미다
Page 62, Dedication of Merit. I revere the King of the Great Compassion, vows Amitabha Buddha, the dispatcher and founder of the teachings, Shakyamuni Buddha, all the Buddhas, as many as the sons of the Gandhis in the six directions, Kannon, Seishi, all the great bodhisattvas, the world assemblies of ultimate bliss, the beings of the pure and great ocean, and the three treasures and the great compassion of Amitabha. May the wind and rain, calamity and disasters and calamity not arise. May nations be bound for people's sake, and armies and weapons not be used. Let us revere virtue and humanity and cultivate respect and humility. Our High Patriarch Paul, the great Master Shandao, our founders, great Master Eko, Tozen, Ejo, Gokakujikyo, Meisho, Wajiko, Nidasho, Meisho. The second Patriarch, National Teacher, Daisho, Shoju, Shoko, Shoko. The third patriarch, the recording and meditation master Kishu Tochu Shomi, the light of transmitting the pure and teachings of the three countries and all the great patriarchs by realizing the compassionate blessings of Amitabha Buddha. The founding master of our temple, the restorer, and all the priests who serve this temple with a fervent practice to achieve perfect enlightenment, to return to this world from the pure and guide us again. We again offer my prayers to my teachers and ministers, to my father and mother, all the temple members, donors, and all living beings with whom I have karmic connections. May all those who are living experience joy, prosperity, and longevity without limit. May those who have died escape from suffering and transcend to be born into the pure light. We pray for the peace and stability of our temple and for complete affinity with the past. May we be completely free of hindrances and cultivate our practice of the Buddhist path. Since the founding of this temple, to all the members, the daily and monthly memorial tablets, the recently deceased, those in the intermediate stage of existence, and to all spirits, may we cultivate virtuous merit so that they may be enlightened. We vow hereon with the virtues accumulated from this place of practice to transfer our merit to our beloved ones for their happiness and achievement of enlightenment. Toba prayer. 願に将来諸宿読開室へ本日御記に際し中東馬へ本流の新人の摂取はdedicated by Percy and Lois Yoshikawa for Yoshikawa family ancestors. Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Percy Yoshikawa for Enomoto family. Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Mei Yorimoto for Terry Yorimoto. Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Mei Yorimoto for Mitsuki Kimoto. Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Mei Yorimoto for Kanji Kimoto. Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Lamon Louis for Teruma Tsuyuko Yasaka. Myoro Yunen Shindo Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Lamon Louis for Ernest Kenji Yasaka. Tsuiden Dojo Bodai Koyo Yunen Shinji, dedicated by Tsuda family for Hatsue Tsuda Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Tsuda family for Konosuke Tsuda Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Tsuda family for Setsuko Tsuda Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Tsuda family for Dr. Yoshio Tsuda Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Ricky and Johnny Terao for Yaeko Terao Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Ricky and Johnny Terao for Violet Hideko Terao Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Ricky and Johnny Terao for Aji Atsuko Terao Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Patsi Takemura for Stanley Takemura Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Patsi Takemura for Yang Xiu Kim Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Sam Tarumoto or Yuriko Tarumoto, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Sam Tarumoto or Isami Tarumoto, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Marin K. Nishimura for Michael Was, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, Michael War, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Marin K. Nishimura for Marvin Katsuaki Nishimura, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Marin K. Nishimura for Eleanor Miko Nishimura, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Marin K. Nishimura for Charles Saburo Nishimura, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Nelson Masato Murakami for Robert Kazuo Murakami, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Nelson Masato Murakami for Evelyn Camp Murakami, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Nelson Murakami for Kyoen Suiji, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Nelson Masao Murakami for Violet Suifun Murakami, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Daro and Gail Masaki for Zhang family, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Daro and Gail Masaki for Yonamine family, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Daro and Gail Masaki for Masaki family ancestors, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Daro and Gail Masaki for Sharon Yonamine, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Daro and Gail Masaki for Robert Yonamine, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Daro and Gail Masaki for George Tsuneharu Masaki, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Yoneji Kitagawa, Hiram Yoneji Kitagawa for Kitagawa family ancestors, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Janice Kanehira for Lilian Kanehira, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Janice Kanehira for Norman Kanehira, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Janice Kanehira for Sadae Kanehira, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Janice Kanehira for Yoshio Kanehira, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Jin Kimura for Gilbert Muneharu Kimura, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Sara Iwai for Robert Hidenori Iwai, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Sara Iwai for Richard Takaichi Iwai, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Sara Iwai for Hazel Masayo Iwai, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Sara Iwai for Hari Wakaso Iwai, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Sally Hatsue Hayashi for Ota family ancestors, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Sally Hatsue Hayashi for Hayashi family ancestors, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Sally Hatsue Hayashi for Janet Asako Hayashi, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Sally Hatsue Hayashi for Hiromu Hayashi, Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, 東証10年、ナムアミ
ミ
ダ
ラブナムアミラブナムアミラブナム
アミダナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダナムアミダブチュナムアミダブ。
最強という。また願わくは本日1月21日、永代教思想指導の本接種。dedicated by 二階尾東村 for 末子東村聖音法要法運聖大師追善道場五代 dedicated by 菊木村 for 菊木村 in 1989 賞与常年両菊大師 and Kimura family and Murashige family 追善道場五代dedicated by Mitsuko Teruya for Masao Teruya, Joyo, Shundo Shinji, Tsuiden, Dojo Bodai. Dedicated by Kikuno Yamane for Takeo Yamane, Eyo, Nodo Ryu Koji, Tsuiden, Dojo Bodai. Dedicated by Shizuko Heirakuji for Shimo Hatanaka Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Aki Ishii for Hiroshi Furuya Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Aileen Uehara for Tsuneko Shintaku Koyo Yoko Jinendai Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Calvin Namihira for Ronald Koichi Namihira Joyo Shoko Zenjomon Tsuiden Dojo Bodai, dedicated by Eunice Kishida for Mitsuyo Kishida Myoko Shogetsu Shinyo Kakkaku Tsuiden Dojo Bodai. Page 26, Soe Koge.
西苦毒平等性才道自母大心往生安楽国
Dedication of merit for all. We aspire for these merits and virtues to be equally bestowed upon all, and may we together develop the aspiration for enlightenment to achieve birth in the pure land of peace and bliss. Junem, please put your hands together in Gassho and recite Namu Amidabu 10 times together.
Osho Junem Namu Amida 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 Namu Amida
Page 27, Verse of the Universal Vows, 双眼下。
主上変世願道無変世願道無門人世願地無常菩提世願所自我法外の利益小極楽上地の
However, innumerable sentient beings are, I honestly vow to enlighten them all. However, exalted generation are, I honestly vow to extinguish them all. However, immeasurable the Buddhist teaching are, I honestly vow to comprehend them all. However, incompatible enlightenment is, I honestly vow to attain it by all means. I sincerely wish to share the blessing with all beings. Together we are born into the pure land of ultimate bliss to achieve the way of the Buddha. Page 28, offering of three prostration to Amida Buddha, San Shorai. Page 29. Entreating the Buddha to return to their land. 総仏へ。小仏水縁現本国不三国心所仏万仏にしようね同所相関人知ない。May we now call upon all the Buddha to return to their lands. We offer incense and flower in appreciation to send them off. We ask for your compassionate guidance and protection. May those who have gone before us to encourage us to attain birth in the Pure Land. 10 times recitation of 念仏10年。ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダナムアミダ仏ナムアミダ仏。
Good morning, and thank you very much for coming to our very special service. Today is Gyoki to commemorate our founder, Honen Shonin's passing. He passed away January 25th, 1212. And this is the most important service. And because this is a very identification of Jodoshu. What is Jodoshu? Because of all Honen Shonin, we are all here today. And so in Japan, the Gyoki service actually several times a day and for 7 days, actually, morning, noontime, and evening. And however, January is a very strict, cold winter. So they don't, celebrate big, memorial service in winter in January, but in April, when cherry blossom, beautiful season, they do have Gyoki service in April, in the very beginning of the April. So if you go to, in the beginning of April, we have 8, head temples, Jodoshu. They all do the memorial service in the beginning, and it's so beautiful under the cherry blossom. So anyway, today we do have a memorial service for Honen Shoten. And during the service, we did Toba prayer. And Toba is originally called Sotoba, and Sotoba became shortened and Toba. So Toba is a shorter form of the Sotoba. So Sotoba is the one that we do have during the service. And originally, Sotoba is a copy of the sound stupa in Sanskrit. And stupa is a tower where they place Buddha's ashes, Buddha's relic, and they dedicated the tower in commemoration of Shakyamuni Buddha. So every tower, every stupa, they have Buddha's relic inside. And over there, Buddhist practitioners, followers, they meditate, facing Buddha's relic. What is Buddha like? And they imagine and contemplate and visualize Buddha. What is Buddha? So that is the beginning of Sotoba. And so, and in the middle is our Japanese stupa. It's called Goju Noto, the 5 layers of towers. And this is the oldest wooden tower in the world. It's Horyu, and during the pilgrimage tour, we visited Nara, Horyu, and this was amazingly constructed in the beginning of 7th century, over 1,000 years endured, and no fire. And this is very amazing that it is still standing. And of course, this is a national treasure and World Heritage Site, the Kojunoto. And so anyway, this is called Stupa, became Sotoba, and then became Shota and Toba. And Toba has actually 3 types. And do you know big size of Toba? It's called Otoba. So during the time, we dedicate Otoba because it's big size of Toba. That's what we call Oki Toba, Otoba. And it used to be, almost 7 feet. It's a big, really big, but now it's actually smaller size. So I wonder if we can say we can still call Otoba, but as compared to we using today, it's actually big. So, and then medium size is called Chutoba, Chu, is the middle size. And then small size is called Kotoba. So Otoba, Chutoba, Kotoba, depending. So anyway, the meaning of Otoba, if you dedicate stupa, you receive the amazing virtues, by dedicating Buddha's stupa. So this custom was transmitted to China and to Japan. So every, important service, we dedicate Toba, and to lead Otoba, to pray Otoba prayer or Chutoba prayer means that it's same as like construction of the big stupa. So by dedicating, Chutoba, it is a meaning that you construct the stupa for the, Buddhism. So that is the meaning of Toba. But today, we usually do the alphabetical order, but today I did differently because every time, whenever you go to school, everything is based on the alphabetical order from A to Z, right? And index page, registration, or roll calls, all depend on the alphabetical order. But I always feel that alphabetical order is not fair. It's not fair. It's very convenient, easy to understand and easy to know where are we, but it's not fair. Because those who, the name start with G or W, you always have to wait for a long time. Oh, to be called, right? So from a person, start with A, you always kind of lucky. Always, you are read always fast, but G, you have to wait for such a long time. It's not fair. So sometimes I do from G to A. So that's why today, Yoshikawa-san and Yorimoto-san, the wife, it became fast. And then you might wonder, how about middle? So Masaki-san is in the middle. Either way, it doesn't matter. But I think the fair is like first come, first serve is very fair. So during open time, we do, bid according to the first come, first serve base because this is those who come first, you get merit, So that I think very fair. But it is very convenient. However, it is not fair. And how about, Japanese has also Aiueo, depending on the 50 syllable order, we call Goju on Jun, Goju on Jun, depending on the Aiueo. So it is a Japanese own alphabetical order, depending on Aiueo. So for instance, this, alphabetical Japanese order was used during the 2020 Olympics Games in Tokyo. And the parade actually starts with Iceland, Ireland, Azerbaijan, Afghanistan, United Arab Emirates. Yeah. So these are depend on the not English alphabetical order. This is the Japanese alphabetical order. So that's some people, some countries, they say very confusing. And because United Arab Emirates, these are you, starting with you. However, Japanese, pronunciation is Arab Shogoku Renpo. That's very beginning. And of course, this is the exception that Greece, where the Olympics games started, was already the very beginning. And also France, it was first started, the Olympics game was first France. So the French is the official language of the Olympics game. So that's why the Greece is the very beginning. But this is according to the Japanese alphabetical order that happened Tokyo Olympics game. And it said 2020 Summer Olympics, but of course, because of the COVID-19, this was not held in 2020, but 1 year later, 21, the Olympics Games were held. However, because originally 2020, they expected Olympics game, that's why the formal name of the Olympics game, 2020 Summer Olympics game, is. And so when I went to school, the seats are assigned according to the Japanese alphabetical order because my name starts with E. Over here, I, A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, it's kind of, in the middle, but because Japanese alphabetical order is very beginning, I always top three. For instance, Akai, Akiyama, Ishikawa. And then when the roll call, I always, three or four, fourth. And it was, I very stress-free. And on the other hand, waiting for the Watanabe-san is a very big, very ending part of, alphabetical order. So they have to wait. But anyway, this happened the elementary school, middle school, high school, and college, and also even we become around alphabetical order continue. Yeah? And what a stressful, and there was a study that the impact of the order of the students' surnames on their academic performance in Japan, and depending on the which alphabetical order, R sound or W sound, do they have impact? And the study suggests that students whose surnames are placed earlier in the Japanese alphabetical order tend to have higher acceptance rates in the university entrance exam than whose surnames are placed later. So that's very interesting. And because they always have, early opportunity to do the presentation or to be called. And on the other hand, well, those who have to wait such a stress, very stressful. And then this is one of the example. And there is another study that this impact the lifespan. The R sound may be, living longer than W sound. That is another study. So one time, I think Asahi Shimbun, Asahi newspaper, I read about, the alphabetical order impact, lifespan. However, one time I read it, but now I cannot find it. So maybe this may be wrong because, this is also maybe not fair. So I wonder, I cannot find the article of the impact on the Japanese surnames toward the lifespan. So anyway, in Japan, there are almost 300,000 last names, 300,000 last names. And that's actually a lot, a lot last names. And however, top 30 last names percentage is almost 30%. So top 30, last names are quite often we see. And the most popular last name in Japan is Sato-san or Suzuki-san. There are almost 2 million Sato-san or Suzuki-san. And then Takahashi-san is 1.4 million, and Tanaka-san, and Watanabe-san, Ito-san, Nakamura-san, Kobayashi-san, Yamamoto-san, Kato-san. That's the top 10, almost 1 million people that these names. And then Hawaii has many people from Yamaguchi. Then how about the top 10 popular last names in Yamaguchi? Number 10, Kawamura-san, about 10,000. And number 9, Fujimoto-san. And number 8, Hayashi-san. And we have many Hayashi-san, but it's a very Yamaguchi characteristics. And Nishimura-san. And number 6, Ito-san, Harada-san, Fujii-san, Nakamura-san, and Tanaka-san. And do you know number 1? Yamamoto-san. Of course, Yamamoto-san is popular, throughout Japan. In Yamaguchi, Yamamoto-san is the most popular. And then Hiroshima, we have many people also from Hiroshima. Okada-san, Inoue-san, Nakamura-san, Sasaki-san, Sato-san, Takahashi-san, Murakami-san, Tanaka-san, Fujii-san, Yamamoto-san. So Yamamoto-san is the most popular in Hiroshima prefecture. So almost similar to Yamaguchi. Then we have many people from Fukuoka. Fukuoka, you see Koga-san. So somebody from Koga-san must be Fukuoka. It's one of the main names in Fukuoka. So Koga-san's name is from Fukuoka. And then we have Inoue-san, and Daniel Inoue-san was also from Fukuoka prefecture. It's Fukuoka prefecture, main Inoue-san. So these are Fukuoka. And then how about Okinawa? We have many people from Okinawa. Number 10, Yamashiro-san. So Okinawa also has specific, last name. And Taira-san, number 9. And Shimabukuro-san, 24,000. Uehara-san, or this kanji can be read as Kamihara-san. So Uehara, Kamihara, the same kanji can be used. And then Tamashiro-san. Aragaki-san or Aragaki is number 5. And number 4, Miyashiro-san, 36. And then Oshiro-san and Kaneshiro-san. And number 1 is Higa-san. So these are very specific, last names in Okinawa. And you see Shiro, Yamashiro, Tamashiro, Miyashiro, Oshiro, Kaneshiro, Shiro, Shiro, Shiro. And Shiro means castle, castle. Because Okinawa was kingdom. Yeah? They have Shurijo shrine. However, unfortunately, it was burned some years ago. But it was a kingdom, so it related something castle. So Yamashiro means mountain castle, and uh, Tamashiro means treasure castle, treasure castle, and Miyashiro is palace castle, and Oshiro means big castle, and then Kaneshiro means golden castle, golden castle. So that's a very specific Okinawa. Then how about China? Chinese last names actually incredible less as compared to Japan. Japan has over 300,000 last names, but China, they used to have 24,000 names, only 24,000, whereas China population is over 1 billion, right? Over 1 billion, but 24. And this is before, and now they have only 6,000 last names in China. So if you know somebody from China, this must be one of the names that we very familiar. So one is actually most popular, almost 100 million people in the world. And then also D is, or Korean pronunciations E, or E is also very popular, almost 92 billion people. And by the way, the D is the most popular last name in the world, in the world. Chang or Liu, Chen, Yang, Han, Zhao, Wu, and Chao. So the top 10 Chinese last name. And why Chinese name last not many is because family very important. They didn't want to create a new name. They tried to keep last name. So that's why the names are decreasing from 24,000 to 6,000. They try to keep the last name. That is not China. And then how about United States? Do you know the most popular names? Smith, yes. So Smith-san is the most popular. And American name or European name, most name after place name, 40% named after place name. And then or occupation, such as Miller or Baker or Parker, depending on the occupation. And also somebody's son, or Johnson, Jackson, Williams, Davis. This means that William's son is Williams, right? Johnson is John's son, and John and son, and David is David's son. So this one, somebody's son is actually 32% is the American name. So these are characteristics of the United States. And then how about Korea? Amazingly, Korea has much less last names. Number three, only 300, less than 300 last names in Korea. Number three is Park, and 8.8%. And number two is E, or Isa, is 14%. And do you know number one? Kim. Yes. Number one, Kim-san. That is the most popular, and 21%. So if you know somebody from Kim-san, must be Kim-san. And these are much less last names. And on the other hand, Japan has many kinds of last names. And our name butsu is actually calling name of Amida, calling name of Amida. And we say Namu Amida Butsu. And it's a name and name very similar because one of the opinions says that name was originated from Namu. And because name is so important, and without name we cannot live. Once we are born, we keep name for lifetime long. And so name or Namu is something, the symbol that we need to rely on, we need to respect. That is a name. So that's why we call name of Amida Buddha. And Namu Amida Butsu, literally means Namu is Namo or Namas, it's the Sanskrit word. It, as I said, like bow, worship, pay homage to, or turn to rely on. So rely on him. And as I said that because we rely on his name is so important. Because name is so important. That's why we need to rely. That is a Namu. And Amida means two meanings. One is Amitabha, is an infinite life. And another meaning of Amida is Amida use. It's an infinite life. So Amida consists of two elements. One is light, infinite light. And another is Amida use is immeasurable light. That is Amida. And the word Amida consists of two words. But is impossible. Is something that can, and Mida is actually in English we say measure. So Amida means impossible to measure. That is immeasurable. And immeasurable means infinite. So Amida in Sanskrit means that something that we cannot measure, we cannot think. That is infinite. So this is Amida. And Butsu means Buddha. So Namamida means I take refuge in infinite life and immeasurable life of Buddha. That is the meaning of Namamida. But once again, this is based on the name because name is so important and Amida Buddha's name is especially important and powerful because Amida Buddha's name can take everyone to be born into Pure Land. So that's why we rely on Namu Amida Buddha all the time. And so this is a teaching by our founder, Hone Shonin. So once again, thank you very much for attending to the very special Buddhist service in commemoration of Hone Shonin's passing. Please put your hands together beside Namu Amida 10 times together. 如来大悲愛民5年土生10年ナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダブナムアミダナムアミダブチュナムアミダ ありがとうございます。Thank you very much. By the way, the Joshu Young Community Association, they are having the neighborhood campaign, and this is Hawaii Buddhist Council, not Hawaii Council of Buddhist website. So this is a focus map. If you recite Namu Amidabu and register in this special website, you can make it focus group in your place. So if you have a chance, please visit our Hawaii Council resolution website and please register your name after reciting Namu Amidabu. This is there's a special website, so you see lots of flowers in Japan as they register in a special website. All the flowers are in Hawaii. You see. I think only one. Only one photo is 20 minutes. Then we see more photos in the map. So once again, thank you. And next week, we have a general awareness meeting from 10:45.
Please come again. Thank you very much.